The Pacers did it. They are finals bound for the second time in franchise history. Tony East here. I cover the Pacers for Forbes and Locked On Pacers. What a Game 6 it was. Surreal to be there, to see it. Quite frankly, after this team was 10-15 and really quite poor to start the season, they've been just lights out, fantastic ever since, and they proved it with this playoff run. And I've been talking about that with some media colleagues. Like, since that moment, it's just they've been awesome, but it still is part of why this just feels so incredible. This team was the 4 seed and snuck in their 50th win on the last day. And since the start of the playoffs, they have undeniably been the best team in the Eastern Conference, and they showed it in their Game 6 win over the Knicks, and they have a date with the OKC Thunder. Let's talk about all that here in this video today. Last 8-minute video of the pre-finals Pacers who were playing in June. I thought this was the perfect display of the 2025 Indiana Pacers. 125-108, they win the game over the Knicks. Awesome second half. For third quarter, 34-23 Pacers. Fourth quarter, 33-31. They win the second half by 13 after being up 4 at the break. That's what they do. When they're playing their best, and in this game they were playing pretty close to it, their pace was there on offense, getting to shots early in possessions. A lot of shots in the first 8 seconds of the clock, and they were good looks. They're moving the ball very well. Great assist numbers for the Pacers. In a playoff game, getting to 30 is awesome. 13 for Tyrese Haliburton. Right when they're playing like that, it just gets so exhausting to play them. And eventually you will break down. You will mess up on defense. Your offense will get flimsier. You just will not be as good. And that's exactly what happened to the Knicks. And the Pacers can play that way for an entire game. And there's lots of micro things to talk about from this game. But in that way, it was a very Pacers-y game. And another way it was a very Pacers-y game is the pace it was played at. I mentioned those early shots. They got them all night. After not getting that many threes the game before, they made 17 in Game 6. Lots of guys made multiple threes. Thomas Bryant, Obi Toppin, Tyrese Haliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, and Aaron Nesmith. Tons of capable shooters on the Pacers. TJ McConnell made a 3 and took another one. They were lights out from deep. And the real way it was the most Pacers way possible to close out the Knicks and win the Eastern Conference was twofold, and it was mostly just player performance related. One is that their stars were stars, but two is that it takes everybody. When the Pacers are at their absolute apex best, usually Siakam and Haliburton are both quite good. One of them is often exceptional, and their depth is all good in different ways. And in this game, the stars were stars. Pascal Siakam, 31 again, his third 30-point game in the series, more than he had the entire regular season. Lights out series for Pascal Siakam. Crushed the Knicks. 5 boards, 3 assists, 3 blocks. Amazing game, 31 points. Tyrese Haliburton comes alive in the second half. 9 for 17 for 21 points. 13 assists, 3 steals, 6 boards, 4 turnovers. He'll hate that. He led the series for the Pacers in rebounding, did Tyrese Haliburton, and steals, obviously, and assists as well. They were both awesome. Plus 24 for Tyrese Haliburton, plus 25 for Pascal Siakam. Full stop right there. That gives the Pacers a chance. But when they're at their best, those two are humming and hard to guard and creating matchup problems for the defense that other guys can take advantage of. And that's what made this the perfectly Pacers win. Miles Turner, 4 for 6, 11 points. Excellent series for him finishing plays. I know he had a bad series in a lot of ways. Couldn't play as many minutes as he would like. Foul trouble in this game. Cat kicked his butt a few times. He shot 50% or better every single game. That gives him a chance to be out there. Aaron Nesmith, on a bad ankle, Aaron Nesmith. 4 for 8, made half his threes, 3 boards, plus 13. Foul trouble for him as well, but still played well. Andrew Nembhard, his best game of the series because his defense was sensational. He takes the Jalen Brunson assignment out of nowhere because Nesmith is hurt. He got pulled off of Brunson last year in this very series. Brunson goes 8 for 18 for 19 points, 7 assists, 5 turnovers, can't make a 3, minus 18. Andrew Nembhard had 14 points on 12 shots, made 2 threes, had 8 assists and 1 turnover and 6 steals. 6 steals. A dominant defensive game. Ball movement as a secondary creator, made threes. Incredible Andrew Nembhard game. After 2 stinkers from him. I would love to talk to him about this, and if it mattered to him at all that he got pulled off of Brunson for this series. Because he was lights out when he needed to guard him in this game, and did the offense. So all the starters were good. Off the bench, Ben Mathurin doesn't play as much after he made some series-changing stuff in earlier games. Made half his shots. Obi Toppin, 25 minutes. Adds to the pace of the game. 7 for 11. 2 threes, 6 boards, 3 blocks, 18 points. against his former team. Awesome close to the series. TJ McConnell keeps it moving as the backup point guard. Jarris Walker was playing well until he got hurt. That's a bummer. Ben Shepherd plays 20 minutes and ends up with 3 assists and 2 boards. +7 is defense, valuable all series long, even though it didn't have the impact that the Pacers would hope. And I skipped around it to spend more than 2 seconds on him. Thomas Bryant closed out the Cavs with a monster third quarter. Thomas Bryant in game closeout against the Knicks. 3 for 4 from deep, makes 2 free throws, 3 boards, 13 minutes for Thomas Bryant, 11 points for Thomas Bryant, who got benched in the series for Tony Bradley. Tony Bradley is injured and is not as effective in this game. They go to their former backup, and he was awesome. He's an energy guy. His defense is up and down, but when he's making threes, which he can do and Tony Bradley cannot, he becomes a legitimate offensive weapon. His energy is contagious. He's just everywhere. Awesome game, mostly because he made shots for Thomas Bryant. Great story in The Athletic from James Boyd about him and his belief in himself and minutes and staying ready. And boy, did he. And that is what made this the Pacers game. Guys who can shoot shot. Guys who don't play as often came in and played well. Guys who do play often met expectations. Guys adjusted to new important defensive assignments. Guys adjusted to a bad Game 5 and responded. That's what the Pacers do. They do not lose 2 games in a row. There is not one strategy that bogs them down for more than a game or 2 at a time. Their bench can always have a guy or 2 go off. They had a bench guy do well in every win they had in the series. Their stars are good enough to win them series, plural, in a postseason. Their role players are perfect fits. And Rick Carlisle had an awesome coaching series with rotational and strategy adjustments. And the Pacers, in the 6th game, won the 4th one and beat the Knicks 4-2 to win the Eastern Conference for just the 2nd time in franchise history. Both times against the Knicks, both times it took them 6 games. And both times they're playing a Western Conference team that features a young stud guard and young stud big. This time, instead of Kobe and Shaq, it's Chet and SGA. And they'll try to reverse their fortunes where they lost in 6 to the Lakers in 2000. The Thunder are quite the foe. Best defense in the league. One of the best defenses compared to the rest of the league ever. MVP obviously is on that team. They won 68 games for a reason. There's a lot of numbers stuff and projection models that say the Thunder should have a nice series. I thought the Cavs would have a nice series against the Pacers. And then the Pacers ran them over. The Pacers were better in every series than most of the models said. Predictions be danged. It's going to be a tough series for both teams. They're both great. They both deserve to be on the stage. I cannot wait for it. I think the possession battle is going to be key for the Pacers. I think their secondary creators are going to be key. I think corner threes will be key. You can hear all my thoughts on Locked On Pacers over the next couple days. But let's wrap up the Knicks series with this video. Thank y'all for rocking with this channel all season long. A couple more videos to come in the finals. Fever video coming, I promise. Thank y'all for watching. See you very soon.